What is up guys, that Geeky guy here. Welcome to another video. In this one, I'll be talking about a possible cards that can be used from Monarch for the Ninja deck build. So basically a Monarch update for Ninja. So Ninja didn't get any class specific cards, but there are still a bunch of generic attack action cards that were released. So we're gonna see if these cards can find some use in the Ninja deck. So first, we're gonna look at the attack action card, and then we're just gonna go through any non-attack action and see if those have any uses. So what we have here is a list of attack action. So let's go with this first, then we'll see the other equipments and things like that. So anyways, the first card here we have is the Surging Militia. So I'm just gonna give my quick thoughts on this. So this card is I would say it's fine, but it is very situational. So I wouldn't put this in the Ninja deck. Maybe one copy because it costs 2 and also it blocks for 2. However, during late game, this card does have its uses because for each non-equipment cards, defending it, it's basically gaining up to 7. So 7 for the cost of 2 is pretty good. And plus, during the late game, most armor is broken anyway. So this could have some uses, maybe one copy of this to actually make it work. And then also with the cost of 2, you can't really discard it with Katsu, so that's another thing. So the next card we're looking at is the Tremor, the Tremor of Arathiel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So with the cost of 1, you're dealing 4 damage. And then if the card has been put in the banished zone, it gains +2. So basically this is a no-no because you can't really discard this with Katsu's ability since the cost is 1. And also it's not a combo card, so that's another thing. It blocks for 2, so the large percentage of the cards usage is gone, so that's pretty useless in the Ninja deck. Next we have the Zealous Belting. So this is for the cost of 2. However, it deals 5 and then it defends for 2. However, there's a thing here where it says when there is a card in a pitch zone with the base attack damage or attack damage that is greater than belting, base damage, so Zealous Belting has go again. So this is not a good card for Ninja because most of our attack, if you notice, is in the range of 4 and 3. So I mean 3 to 4, there is Surging Strike for 5, but still we're most likely not going to hit this condition. So this again is a no-no. And then let's take a look at Yinti Yanti, another card. So it costs 0 is good, which means this card can be discarded with Katsu's ability. And then it deals 3 damage, which is very similar to Head Jab. And then with the defending value of 2. So this is another card. There is with a low defense value, which is basically a pattern for generic attack action cards. Anyways, it says that if we control an aura, it has +1, and then if we have defending and then we have control and aura. So this is basically not meant for Ninja decks. This is more for illusionists or any other decks that plays auras, maybe even Guardian, but Guardian I would not see this being played Guardian, maybe illusionist. So this is a no-no again for Ninja. So another one we have here is Adrenaline Rush. So this is quite situational. So for the cost of 2, you're dealing 4 damage and then it blocks for 2. So this is basically a souped up Scar for a Scar without the go again. So this is situational, might put this one copy in the deck. So it really depends. As a ninja, especially aggro ninjas, you're taking quite a lot of damage. So usually you'll have a lesser life compared to your opponent. And then this basically keeps up the pressure with the 7 damage here. But I would still prefer Scar for a Scar because the Scar for a Scar is discardable with Katsu's ability. Once again, the same reason. Maybe one copy of this if might have to experiment with that. So sideboard it against other aggro decks because of the defense value, so it really depends. So maybe one copy of this. So we have Belittle for the cost of 1, 3, and then we have a flavor. The text here which says basically we reveal an additional cost of it. So attack action card with 3 or less. So that is pretty easy to achieve with Ninja. Such deck for minimalism, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck and go again. So it really depends on the type of ninja you're playing. Having too much generic attack action card in a ninja deck is not that good, I would not recommend it, because there are certain cards such as the Ancestral Empowerment, which is a great card for Ninja, which only buffs up Ninja attack actions. So it really depends. You might want to swap out other generic attack action if you want to play the Belittle and Minoism line. But still, for the defense value of 2, Ninja is already blocking for solo, Aggro Ninja at least. So this is, I would not prefer to play this card. So this requires more experimentation and maybe different build for Ninja. So next we have Brandish, against with the cost of 1. So this is not discardable with Katsu. So you can see a pattern here. Look at the cost, and then we see the effect here, which is if it hits, the next weapon attack this turn gain +1 and then go again. So in the case of hitting, your Kodachi will gain +1. It is no, I don't think it makes a difference, because your opponent is gonna, if they really want to block Kodachi, they're gonna block it with a at least a 2 defense value card anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference unless they are blocking equipments. So it is very situational. I would not put this in a Ninja deck for now. So we have to see in the future. And then next we have Exude Confidence. So with the cost of 0, this is an excellent card for Ninja basically. So this was also agreed by my group, where they mentioned that this is with the cost of 0. So this is discardable by Katsu. So I'm very excited for this card. So while this card is not defended by a card with equal or greater base damage, the defending hero can't play and activate any instant. So they basically can't play any defense reaction, this combat chain. So this is a 0 cost command and conquer in a sense, with a condition there. And also, if let's say they defended with an attack action card with the value of 4, you can even pay more in order to increase this card's damage up to 6. And actually punch through them and then just activates this effect here. So you have to remember, this is not only that particular chain link, it's the whole combat chain. So basically you're shutting them down for any types of defense reaction for the whole combat chain, including the instance. So this is an excellent card. Might get 3 copies of this to be put into Ninja. Might replace this with maybe the Scar for a Scar, perhaps maybe reduce Scar for a Scar, from maybe 3 copies to 2, and then put in 3 copies of this, and then reducing other types of generic. So it really depends, but I would like to have 3 copies of this. Next we have Frontline Scout. Once again, it's a 0 cost, so that's good. We can discard it with Katsu. And then we got to look at the defending hero's hand. Now, if this card is played for Arsenal against Go Again, I would see this card as situational, because you're basically gaining the advantage of looking at defending hero's hand, but it really depends if Katsu cares about whatever they have in their hand. Maybe some defense reaction you might want to look at, but it is still preferable to play other generic attack action that I feel. So another thing is it takes up your arsenal space. So Plunder Run can, if you're playing Plunder Run, you can. I mean, Ninja mostly plays Plunder Run, so this eats up the arsenal space, and also it's boxed for 2. So I would not put this in the deck, but with some experimentation, you might squeeze in maybe 1 copy of this. Next, we have a Nourishing Emptiness here. So very Japanese cultural, like the art itself maybe fits the Ninja theme, but let's take a look. So it costs 2. You can't discard this with Katsu. So we have a text here says that if there is no attack action cards in your graveyard, it has Dominate. So this is quite hard to achieve. This condition is quite hard to achieve with a Ninja, because we more than half of our deck is attack action cards, and it's hard to actually hit these numbers. But for a 6 and 3, I would say this is okay, but there are better cards with 6 and 3. Might as well just play for Command and Conquer for the same effect. I mean, for the same cost and the same damage and defense value. Next we have Out Muscle here. So this is for the cost of 3. It's undefended by equal or greater. It has Go Again once again. It's a conditional Go Again with the cost of 3. So this is pretty. You might find it uses in other classes, but in Ninja, not really. Next, we have Rally the Rear Guard. So for the cost of 2, you're attacking for 6 and blocking for 2. But there is also an instant where you can discard a card and it gains +3. So I would prefer to play the reinforce the line instead of playing this. You can actually block with any attack action card and just play reinforce the line to bring it up to about. If you're blocking for 3, you bring it up to 7. If you're blocking for the red, reinforce the line at least. If you're blocking with 2, you bring it up to 6. This one blocks for the maximum of 5, but it does have a flexibility of discarding any card instead of reinforce the line, which only depends on attack action card. So you can even combine this with reinforce the line if you want to go in that direction. So this might have some play in control ninjas, but really depends on how you want to achieve that. So maybe it will see some play, but I doubt it will see massive plays. Next, we have Seek Horizon. So as an additional cost to play Seek Horizon, you may put a card on top of your deck. If you do see a go again, so 0 cost is good because Katsu can discard this. With his ability, it is 4 damage and it blocks for 2. So this is, I would not recommend playing this because the better card for this would be the Enlightened Strike. Enlightened Strike is a better card compared to this. It has 5 go again, and also for the cost of 0, Enlightened Strike can basically be discarded with Katsu's ability if you want to go that route. And also the block value of 2, Enlightened Strike blocks for 3. So as a budget option for Enlightened Strike, you might want to try out Seek Horizon, but other than that, I don't see any uses for this. Next, we have Stony Wooten Hawk here. So for the cost of 2, if defended by less than 2 equipment cards, it has +1. So basically a 7. You want to force your opponent to block more, so it will have uses in the late game. So this one is also situational. Might have plays for 1 copy for this, but I think there are better cards to put in instead of this one. So guys, that is at least for the attack action card. Let's take a look at non-attack action and see what spicy things that we can find there. Alright guys, so I've combined whatever left of the non-attack action. I looked up for the defense reaction and also some item and instant. So let's just quickly go through this remaining 5 card and see if it will have some uses in the ninja deck. So basically for the first card here, we have Captain's Call. A cost of 0, once again, can be discarded with Katsu's ability. And then we get to choose one, either the next attack action card with cost 2 or less +2, or we can give it go again, and then this again go again. So this is a particularly interesting card here. So I guess we could try putting a few, maybe 2 copies of this in the deck, but I still think Art of War is a better card in the deck. This might be a budget-friendly option for Art of War. We might have to look it in the future because we have the option of +2 and also go again. And since most of ninja cards is already costing 2 or less anyway, you have the Surging Strike, which is basically the maximum cost attack action that we have in a ninja deck. So this might be an interesting alternative for Art of War. Also, you can block with this card. You can't block it Art of War, but Art of War does give more flexibility with 4 available choices. So this one is situational. We might have to revisit this card in the future. Next, we have Minnowism. So it really depends if you want to play Belittle in the deck, but once you put in Belittle, you have to put in Minnowism. Once you put in Minnowism, you have to play Belittle just to get the full effect of the whole line. So I think this is very situational. So it really depends if you want to play Belittle. Then just put in the discard. Once again, with a defense value of 2, this is not great to be defending with. So as ninja, you want to squeeze in as much as defense value as possible, as aggro ninja at least. So next we have Rise Above. So Rise Above, you can put a card from the hand on top of your deck rather than pay for this cost. In Ninja, at least, I don't see any uses for this. A better alternative would be, of course, Flick Flag is the best defense reaction you can have for Ninja, and also Sink Below would be a better option if you want to cycle your hand. So Rise Above, not very good since it also costs 2. You can't really discard this with Katsu. Next, we have Memorial Ground. So we can put a target attack action card with cost 2 or less from the graveyard on top of the deck. So this one is a setup card, I would say. So it really depends if you want to play this, but it does require a bunch of setting up. You might want to put maybe one copy of this in the deck, or maybe 1-2 copy of this just to see how it goes. You might want to sideboard this out against another aggro class, because this is an instant. It doesn't really have a defense value. So what you want to do is basically play this during your opponent's end of opponent's attacking phase. End of opponent's defending phase, so that you can draw up whatever cards you want. So that makes sense. So that's it for the Memorial Ground. You can even discard this with cards too if you want. Next, last one, we have Talisman of Dowsing. Very situational, so I don't think we would want to play this item. It does have Go Again, but this is only a one-time use, so I would prefer the other one. I forgot what it's called, but it's an item, and also it blocks any sort of arcane damage, at least one instant of arcane damage, which without actually getting destroyed. So that would be a better option, or even just equip a Null Rune Boot instead of the Snapdragon Scaler, just to achieve the same effect. So this is a no for me. Anyway, guys, that's it for the new cards of Monarch for Ninja, at least. So Ninja didn't have any class specific card. I think it would be possible in the future sets that we get in the near future, at least. I guess for Kingdom we might see something for Ninja, but for now these are some of the cards that I think would be there are two little cards to be used for Ninja. The best one would be the Exuding Confidence. That's it, I guess, guys, for my thoughts. See you guys in the next one. Tell me, guys, what you guys think down in comments below. Like, subscribe, and comment. Those things really help. And see you guys in the next one. Bye.